Hello, welcome to Fair Lady of the Loch Tarot. Thank you for joining me. Today we will be doing a pick-a-card reading using the Four of Cups to ask the questions, what do I need to do to aid me in my journey towards emotional balance? What do I need to release and let go of along that journey? We'll even be asking if there are any remnants, from past lives that have carried over into this one that need to be let go of. We're going to leave that open, okay? We're also going to be asking about what gifts, what beautiful things I should be grateful for that I am just currently not seeing, right? That whatever this emotional imbalance is blocking me from, okay? So we are going to leave it open to see whatever we can about solving this emotional difficulty, this blockage, so that we can receive all that is meant for us to receive. Okay, so pile number one is the Four of Cups in the Universal Celtic Tarot. Really beautiful meditation energy going on with this one. With the Ocean Jasper Palm Stone that has pyrite inclusions, just beautiful. And the Black Onyx Tower. Okay. Pile number two is the Everyday Witch Tarot. A lot of depression, anxiety, and perhaps some interpersonal communication difficulties there with a loved one. And we have the Green Obsidian and the Blue Coral. Okay. Pile number three with the Steampunk Tarot. Definitely see some past life energy going on in that one affecting this life. Okay. With the stromatolite fossil, the volcano agate, which is actually a fluorescent crystal, very neat to see under a UV light, and an apatite crystal. Okay, and then pile number four with the Rider Tarot. Definitely a thing about gifts from the divine here not being seen or accepted, or not feeling good enough to accept. There's something with that one there for sure. And we have that with the snowflake obsidian and the bumblebee jasper. Okay, so pick your pile or piles. Pick as many as you need to, because there may be multiple things that need to be drawn attention to, worked on, or advice being given. And I will see you in your piles. If you chose pile number one with the Universal Celtic Tarot, the Ocean Jasper Palm Stone with pyrite inclusions, and the Black Onyx Tower, then this is your reading. Now, how I read tarot is I read both definitions as well as intuitively, allowing the cards to fall where they may, reading both uprights and reversals. Regardless of your spiritual beliefs, you are welcome and respected here. And today we are using the Four of Cups to ask the questions of what can I do to aid me in maintaining, keeping, and finding emotional balance? What do I need to surrender and let go of in that endeavor? Or even leaving it open to energy that from past life may have carried over into this one, that we still need to let go of. And what gifts, what things do I have to be grateful for that the universe is giving me, trying to show me that my current imbalance is keeping me from seeing? Okay, so we are going to do what we can today to remove those blockages so that we can all take the best advantage of this 999 portal that is going on today. Okay, there is so much energy going on. I don't know if you've all been feeling it with the supermoon and the with that eclipse and with the those are going to be some clarifiers here in a little bit. And now with the 999, so it's an interesting energy. So right off the bat, I already know we're going to need some clarifiers on something, so we are going to set these aside right here. Okay. All right, we have, and right out of the gate, I kid you not, we have Temperance. We have the card of emotional balance, of patience, of grounding, of tapping into your own personal power, being balanced and tapped into that earth, air, water, and fire energy, the divine energy that resides within us all. Okay, I couldn't have picked a better first card for this particular subject. All right, so this tells me that you are on the right path. You are absolutely on the right path, okay? Keep up the good work. I mean, this is beautiful. This is power, self-knowledge, emotional balance at its finest, okay? This card just fills me with all sorts of beautiful, beautiful feelings, all right? So I am grateful to start off on that note. I really, really am. Because I was a little bit concerned and a little bit about what kind of energy we were going to be pulling in on this one, and I have like a whole line of crystals up here in front of me, between me and the phone I'm using to record, because I did not want to draw in too much, negativity into myself. I wanted to maintain my high positive energy today. But this topic was what was in the docket, and it is a very important topic. So to be honest, I am grateful to you all for this being our starting energy. That helps me out a lot, actually. So that's beautiful. I really appreciate that, guys. Well done. The Seven of Cups, we have a seeking of a purpose. We have protecting what is precious to us, okay? There's strong guardian energy that's coming in here, okay? The one note I do have here that they're bringing in here is be careful that you are not guarding your heart to the point of alienating you from love, okay? Or alienating you from your purpose or from the gifts of the universe, okay? Make sure you are keeping your heart open, all right? Don't let past pains, difficulties, betrayals, fear, doubt, don't let those get in the way. You are on a good path, and you want to stay on that good path, okay? And the world here with harmony, completion, balance. Once again, this beautiful sunlit energy. This is gorgeous. Guys, I'm so proud of you. The work you are doing. It's excellent. It's extraordinary. Okay? You are bringing about your own personal fulfillment. And that is absolutely fantastic. Okay? I am getting the energy here of someone here might be an Aries. Okay? I'm not sure where it's coming from, to be honest. It may be from that Temperance card. I'm getting a Pisces energy here as well, maybe an Aquarius. Okay? Something's going on there with that. I'm also getting here that someone listening may have a spirit animal that is a hawk or an eagle, bird of prey of some kind, a stag, a deer, an elk, something of that origin, okay? I'm also getting here someone who might be of the Norse path, whether that's Asatru, heathen, or some variation thereof, okay? So take that for what it resonates and what doesn't. I am getting for those who are of a Norse path or Norse ancestry. Okay, that is coming through. That it would behoove you to wear the runes that speak to your heart, the most, okay? I did not bring my runes out for this reading. If you need assistance with that, you can always reach out to me, and I can see what I can do for you in the runes category, all right? And there's a lot of information online about the Elder Futhark that can assist you with that as well. But I am definitely getting that wear the runes that speak to you, okay? As part of your journey, okay? And don't shy away from the multiple aspects of yourself, okay? You know, you may be Celto-Norse, you know, you may be Slavic Norse, you know, there's a wide range of combinations, okay? But I am getting that coming through. I'm also getting a druidic energy here, or some sort of a Celtic-based faith system, okay? That's coming through as well. All right. And to that end, we have the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is very much about working together to achieve a goal, okay? But today, what's really coming through here strongly is the druidic energy of this, right? You know, you see the symbols for druidism there on his cloak. You know, you see a lot of the symbols for water, and you have the Elder Futhark ruins here in this circle. I'm seeing circle of protection, working with a kindred, okay, a coven, a group of some kind, all right. I'm getting architect energy here as well. Someone that listens to this may be an architect or may just really like architecture. History of architecture, perhaps, okay. Connection to megaliths is coming through. We have Stonehenge here, okay. I'm getting some British Isles ancestry coming through. So work with the ancestors is the energy I'm getting here really strongly. Whatever ancestors you bear, whatever your blood and soul origins might be, do not disregard one or the other, okay? Pay attention to both. We have ancestors of our bloodline, we have ancestors of our soul line, right? So pay attention to that. They are there and invested and ready and willing to aid you in your endeavors, okay? Strong ancestral connections here. I'm getting that it might behoove you to perform some sort of ritual, whether that is in gratitude or connection or manifestation, okay? All right, we have the Six of Pentacles, and that is not only having enough to take care of yourself, but having enough to take care of others as well, to help others. It's a card of charity, of kindness in the material realm. And Pentacles deal with health, wealth, and home, okay? And we see all of that here in this card. It can also represent, in a love reading, an aspect of the person that you are meant to be with, that they will be generous and kind, and that they will get along with the children in your life, and that you will have a stable home, okay? And one of the reasons I'm bringing that up as a love reading is because we have the Two of Cups right after it. All right, and the Two of Cups is quite often known as the soulmate card, okay? But it also has, in this particular deck, the Universal Celtic Tarot, a strong energy of only those who are worthy, right? Only allow into your heart, into your bed, into your space, okay, those who are worthy of it. All right, take that as it resonates. You know, leave behind what does not. It also represents union, partnerships, okay? So there could be some sort of, like I said, emotional partnership that takes place, a spiritual partnership as well. Okay, with the Knight of Swords, we have taking action on thought, being courageous, being bold, and retraining your thoughts for your highest and best good, okay? leaving behind any scars left behind from childhood traumas, past life traumas, religious trauma, right? And healing those ancestral wounds, throughout the generations. This card has very strong elements of the All-Mother and the All-Father present. You can see the cranes here, the 3 cranes representing the All-Mother, and the 3 horns on the bull here representing the All-Father energy, and the 3 aspects of each. Okay. Go forward. Your path is lit. You will be shown the way. All right? Boldness, courage. With this 3 of Swords, I am getting that some of you may have suffered a loss. Okay? Some of you may be grieving. There may be some sorrow in your heart. I'm getting the energy for some of you that you were very, very close to a family member, such as a grandfather, who had a strong influence upon you, and you felt like maybe that grandparent or that aunt or uncle or godfather or whatever energy I'm getting here, and it could be masculine or feminine, okay? The figure just here, it happens to be masculine. I'm getting at some stages in your life, you almost felt like they were more your parents than those who gave birth to you. There is an energy there, and that is not meant as, in any way as a disrespect to your birth parents at all, okay? But sometimes you connect more with one person than you do another, and that is just life sometimes, okay? And I'm getting this had a negative effect, some sort of sorrow, some sort of clouding of your path. Like the path ahead was no longer clear. When they were in your life, it was like you saw a future, you saw a way forward, and this could be a spouse, like I said, or family, and leave it open in any way. It could be just a friend. But when they were gone, it was like the path became cloudy, misty, dark, almost dangerous feeling, right? Because the thing that you anchored yourself to was gone. I am getting that some may have turned to some bad habits, drugs, alcohol, sexual addiction, being a workaholic, falling into anxiety and depression, and allowing that to affect your daily life. I'm even getting energy of someone that might have become bedridden because of this. So, at the beginning of this reading, I was very much getting someone who was coming out of this energy, okay? But with this card, I am getting that there may be some of you that are coming into this reading that may not have gone through this first part that I was talking about yet. That you are in this still, but you will be going through this, okay? This part up here. So whether you're already going through this and leaving this behind, or whether it is time and you are ready to be leaving this behind, okay? Take that as it resonates. And once again, I am getting that that I'm getting a Norse energy. I'm getting a Celtic energy. I'm also getting the energy of some who have traced their ancestry to where it disappears into mythology, to where it disappears to like the Fae folk, Bran, Manamaclear, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's an interesting energy. Okay. It might behoove you to tap further into your family tree in that way. For those of you that have not, you may find some interesting things. And sometimes the mythological family trees can be just as exciting, if not more so, than the actual bloodlines, right? And depending on what you believe, they could not be mutually exclusive. So we'll we'll leave that there, but if you have more questions on how to go about tracing your family line, you can always reach out to me. Okay, the Emperor is very much talking about you rising up and standing in your own personal power. Okay, those that have gone before you sacrificed much, so that we can all be here, right? And we will sacrifice much so that those that come after us will be able to be here. Our ancestors are a light that glows, eternally behind us. Our descendants are a light that glow eternally in front of us. And we are grounded here in the present, right? And while we may have lived many lives before, and we may go on to live many lives after, depending on, what you believe in, we have to remember that we have to stay grounded in this present lifetime, and that this is the one we are meant to live right now. Okay? You'll have to forgive me. I've been a little froggy lately. This is an Aries power card, so that's that Aries energy coming in a second time. There may be someone here who is an Aries. Okay? Stand in your own personal power. All right? I am getting, for some of you, there's a strong All-Father energy with this, okay? And I don't just mean the Odin energy, okay? When I refer to All-Father, yes, Odin is included among that, but I am talking about across all faiths. I'm talking about across all mythologies. When I talk about the All-Mother and the All-Father, I am referring to that primordial creative energy at the beginning of everything, okay? And I always think of it in love, okay? Always in love. So, but I am strongly getting here that whether you're masculine, whether you're male or female, we all have masculine and feminine energies within us, okay? And I am getting a strong balance here is needed between the feminine and the masculine within. And some of you might benefit a little bit from tapping a bit more into the masculine All-Father energy at this moment, okay? Relighting that fire within, okay? Relight that fire within. All right, I am getting strong deer spirit energy, okay? So you might want to look into that. Maybe perhaps ancestral coat of arms or sigil or something, but maybe you come from a family of hunters. I don't know, but there's a strong deer element here. Okay. But with anything, there's a choice that has to be made, okay? There's a choice to stay in the known misery, imbalance, whatever it is that you're experiencing, okay? Restriction of your personal power, whatever it is that has been either placed upon you by others or upon you by your own choosing. You have to choose to exit that. You have to choose to leave that behind and move forward into a more stable emotional future, okay? And while that is unknown, it can bring a great many blessings, okay? I am getting an energy here as well about there are gifts that run in your family line. Your family can see things other people can't see, and some of them were believed to be crazy. I'm getting the energy of an uncle, perhaps a veteran in the family, who suffered from PTSD and could see things. He'd like go around talking to himself or what have you and saw things other people didn't see. I'm getting the energy he's not with you anymore. And I am sorry for how that came about. But I am getting a family lineage of gifts, okay? seeing things other people can't see, knowing things other people may not know. There's some seer energy here. There's a bit of healing by touch energy here, okay? That there are definite ancestral gifts that have been passed down through the generations. And at times they can feel like a curse, and at times in your life you have not understood what those were, okay? You maybe thought you were crazy, or people made you, or told you you were extreme, or something like that, okay? I'm also getting nightmares, past life recall at night, you know, war, sorrow, passing away, you know, just a great many things going on there, loss. I mean, I'm even getting an imagery of mourning what once was, like there was like a Summerland type energy that is not there now, and you miss it and you mourn it. So there's a lot of things coming through here. Just remember to stay grounded in the present, okay? No matter what's going on with this energy, whether it's ancestral gifts, whether it's past life remembrance, whatever it is, stay grounded in the present, okay? It's okay to explore these gifts, and you should. It is okay to explore these past life memories, and you should, as part of your healing process, okay? But remember to stay grounded in the present, and remember to let go of anything and everything that does not serve your best and highest good, okay? Yeah, I'm getting that some of you had a really hard time when you were kids. You may have been raised in a fundamental conservative religion that caused you to feel like something was wrong with you, and there wasn't, okay? This is a gift from your ancestors. And not every generation understood it, not every generation accepted it, not every generation had it, all right? It may have been lost along the way of understanding how to deal with it, or that it even existed within the line. And it may fall to you to help those in your family who have these gifts to understand it, okay? It may fall to you to be the one to keep the family history, to keep the family legacy, to keep the family knowledge, all right? We have the King of Wands here, very, very strongly speaking of that, being a spiritual leader within your family, within your friend group, whether that's blood family, soul family, okay? There's a strong protected guardian energy here, and we've seen this red dragon twice in this reading. So fire, passion, courage, energy, definitely. Tap into that inner dragon, but also know that you are protected. Okay, you are loved, you are watched over, you are protected. All right? But I am getting that you may be called upon to be the light of knowledge and wisdom and understanding within your family. Okay? The keeper of the family knowledge, the keeper of the family gifts and wisdom. All right, this is coming through very strongly. And for some of you, this understanding may not come until later in life, and that's okay. It is never too late. All right? And there have been sacrifices. I mean, this gives us such strong Odin energy, you know, and he sacrificed himself to himself. You know, he sacrificed his eye to memory as well, to seek that knowledge, that wisdom, you know, the runes, you know. But through all of that, you have survived. You have grown in wisdom and understanding and knowledge. Self-acceptance, okay, that's a big part of that. Accepting yourself, and in so doing, being able to accept others as they are, for who they are, and what they bring to the table. Okay? I'm getting a strong energy here of someone who is connected to the world tree, the Yggdrasil energy, the energies that connect the dimensions, you know, the energies that connect us all. Trees communicate with one another. They talk to one another, okay? You know, everything on this planet has an energy. And we as human beings have energy. And when we interact with one another, our energies come together and it interacts with one another. And simply by our energies interacting with one another, we affect one another for good or for ill, right? And so make sure you're taking care of yourself, all right? Make sure that when you are interacting with others, your energy is leaving them better for it, all right? Do not doubt your gifts. Do not doubt your purpose. This is strong, very, very strong, okay? All right, and this is with a purity of intent, with the Knight of Wands. It's so funny. I just had that song. I don't even remember where it comes from. Do you believe in magic? You know, where did that come from? I can't remember. Anyway, I'm having a brain blank. But that is the energy here coming in with this Knight of Wands. Okay, have the courage, have the purity of heart to believe in magic, your own personal magic, all right, and the magic of the world around you. You will be the better for it, and so will the world. That is beautiful, so beautiful, such strength. You know, and it's not just the All-Father energy here with you. It is absolutely the All-Mother energy as well with this Empress, the Divine Feminine, that beautiful, fertile, creative, abundant energy that overflows and leaves us all feeling fulfilled and loved, you know, beyond measure. You know, when you doubt yourself, when you feel emotionally imbalanced, remember that there is a primordial, creative, feminine energy that flows through and around the world and the universe and whatever lies beyond that loves you. And when something that big, when something that powerful, when something that beautiful loves you unconditionally, beyond all reason, beyond all measure, then how can you not feel empowered to go out and do, to be your best self? You know, if you have to look in the mirror and be like, I am loved by the universe. I am loved by the All-Mother herself. I am loved by the All-Father. So why not? Why not go forth and seize the day? Why not live life with such exuberant joy that it impacts everyone that you encounter? Why not? Why not let go of everything that does not serve you, of the pain, of the emotional turmoil, of the imbalance? Why not let it flow away from you like a waterfall over a cliff and be cleansed by the earth's energies? Why not? Okay? Why not? Ask yourself. And whatever the answer is back, that's what you need to work on. Okay? That's it. That's the thing. All right? And once you see that, once you acknowledge that, once you know that, the ice will thaw, the snow will melt, and the flowers of spring will bloom in your heart, in your mind, and in your soul. And you will see the gifts for what they are, and you will be grateful for them. That beautiful energy that flows within us all. It's yours. Use it. Tap into it and heal. And just like with Imbolc and the returning of the light, so too shall your light return to you. All right? Just hold on, hold in there, and don't be afraid to leave behind all that does not serve you. Okay? The light will return. The light will come, and it will not leave you. I wanted a little bit more information on what exactly it is that you were leaving behind, okay? And I am getting here a couple of things. In this new journey, in this new path that you're taking, this new beginning with the Fool, some of you will be leaving behind deception, okay? Distrust, doubt, fear, how the thoughts of the mind can deceive us all, you know. You're going to be leaving behind all that, all right? False self-perspective, right? You're going to be leaving behind addictions. Like I said, I did get a vibe here where there was some alcoholism, some drug use, you know, maybe overeating to deal with your emotions, maybe watching too much television or playing too many electronic games, or spending time with people you probably shouldn't, right? Gossiping, things like that, you know, or allowing a gossiping of others to, you know, negatively affect you, or the advice of others to negatively affect you. So these are just some of the things that came through to leave behind, okay, on this new journey. And there was a strong indication here that, you know, if you needed help in releasing those things, please do seek it, okay? Please get that help, get that assistance. All right, I'm going to leave that. You will know within each of you what that is, okay? And there's not going to be a lot of doubt there, okay? Just be honest with yourself. All right, now we are going to look at your crystals. We have the ocean jasper, palm stone, and ocean jasper helps to enhance joy, tranquility, emotional healing, self-love, self-discovery, personal growth, and it helps with your relationships. It also helps with all the chakras. Okay, it works with all the chakras. And ocean jasper comes in a wide range of colors. Okay, I just happen to really, really like this version here. It touches my heart and my soul in a very beautiful and positive way. This one came from the Mineral Mushroom, and you can find them on TikTok or at their store on mineralmushroom.store, I believe it is. Okay, and then we have the well, let me see if I can find the bookmark I put in there. Give me just a second. We have the black onyx. There it is. Okay, and this one was a gift from a Thunder's Trove. Isn't that cute? Black onyx aids with stability, strength, productivity, self-confidence, courage, grounding. It aids in time of transition. It helps to release sadness and grief. It helps to balance energies. It aids in enhancing motivation, self-discipline, and willpower. It helps to protect and repel negative energies. It aids in stamina, and it works with the root earth and higher earth chakras. So those are two very apropos stones for this reading. I'm pleased that it matched up so well. All right. Usually I'm called to do a white light oracle with this one, but today for some reason I'm being called to do the Moonology. It might be with the whole moon thing we've had going on. All right, so let's see what they have to say. Any words of advice? Any words of encouragement? Okay. All right. Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. There could be a Capricorn here. That could also be the goat energy that we saw. Yeah, I do believe there's a Capricorn that's going to see this. Okay, your hard work is paying off. Okay, new moon. And new moons are very much about, you release what doesn't serve you and you draw in what you do wish to have come to you. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse, and we are going through that, right? We just went through it. We're finishing out that full moon period with the eclipse with blood on the moon. I mean, look at this. Couldn't be any more apropos. So timing is now, okay? They're asking you to deal with this now, all right? Don't wait, all right? They're very much asking and telling you conclusions are within reach, okay? All right, bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. There's that Aquarius energy I was feeling earlier. Okay. Bring love into the situation. Always. Always. Love for yourself, love for others. Okay. A win-win outcome is cast. Full moon in Libra. And look at that balance there. Beautiful, beautiful balance. So a win-win outcome is forecast and very, very much near in your future. Just hold your vision. Fixed moon. Hold your vision. Keep the faith. Keep going. Do not give up. It is beautiful. And for those of you that I saw this romance situation going on here, a new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. Once again with that balance there. That beautiful emotional balance. Okay? So, I hope that you found this to be helpful. If you did, please let me know. If there was anything that you felt could have been improved upon, please also let me know that. Be gentle and kind as you do so, if you would. Remember, you are beautiful. I mean, seriously, beautiful, okay? You are loved more than you're ever really going to actually understand. And you are strong enough to overcome and get through anything, all right? You've got this. You have absolutely got this, and I'm here if you need to talk. All right? Love you. Bye. If you picked pile number 2 with the Everyday Witch Tarot, the green obsidian, and the blue coral, then this is your reading. Now, how I read tarot is I read both the definitions as well as intuitively, allowing the cards to fall where they may, reading both uprights and reversals. Regardless of your spiritual beliefs, you are welcome and respected here. And right off the bat, we got the Four of Cups that drew us into this reading. And we are using the Four of Cups to aid us in asking the questions of what do we need to release emotionally so that we can regain balance or just gain balance, okay? And we are leaving that open to things from past lives. If there are any past life energies that have come through and are affecting you in this life, we're leaving it open to address that as well. Okay? What practices would be healthy for you to adopt in gaining and maintaining that emotional balance? And what gifts or things that we have that we should be being grateful for that we perhaps are not seeing, understanding, or acknowledging because of this imbalance. All right. There's been a lot of cards with these readings so far. Pile 1 went very long, so forgive me if you grow impatient with how long this takes. You can always save it and come back to it, okay? I understand we don't all have time for a 30 to 40 minute, long reading, but sometimes we need them. And I just let them take me where they want me to go. Okay, and these are our clarifiers, all right? Over here, because I'm feeling that we will need either a bit of encouragement or a clarifier here. So we start off with the energy of someone who is struggling, okay? This could be anxiety, this could be depression, this could be feeling unfulfilled, feeling not enough. I'm getting some midlife crisis energy going on here. I'm getting marital frustrations or disputes. There is an energy here of perhaps someone is not appreciated as they should be within their relationships. This person here who is giving, but not receiving, that is definitely an imbalance, okay? So whether you are the person here who is struggling with, anxiety, depression, boredom, unfulfillment, ingratitude, whatever this energy is, okay? Or whether you are this person who is just giving and giving and giving from your heart and not receiving anything in return. Both are an emotional imbalance, okay? And do need to be addressed, all right? So that is the starting cornerstone, the theme of this particular reading, okay? And right off the bat, we have the Queen of Pentacles, okay? And so that energy I was getting of that person who gives and gives and gives of themselves is always loving, but does not receive in the same capacity from others what they give to others. We have the Queen of Pentacles. You are abundant. You are fertile. You are grounded in the earth. And you're just doing what you feel is right. Right? You are giving of yourself to those in your sphere. You are compassionate. You are empathetic. You are love. Right? Strong love energy coming through here. You carry the All-Mother, that primordial, creative All-Mother energy within your very soul. I can feel it. It is a beautiful love light. And I want to thank you for being here and for giving that love, all right, to others. But, and there is always a but, even when it comes to this sort of loving energy. At times we have to make a choice, okay? Sometimes we have to make a choice to choose ourselves. And that's difficult when we're emotional healers, right? And we give so much of ourselves. It can be very difficult to draw the line, to have boundaries that protect us and that enrich us, okay? And then sometimes we can't see what it's doing to us. We can't see the dangers, so for example, you may be in a romantic relationship or a familial relationship or even at work, okay, where you just give and give and give and give, and and you just don't get it in return, and it begins to make you feel sorrowful or neglected, or and even though resentment is not usually something that the kind of love I am feeling coming through here feels, we're only human. Sometimes it happens, we may not want it to, it may not be our go-to emotion, right? But it can, especially in romantic relationships, begin to turn into something else, when not reciprocated in kind. So be careful of that, all right? I'm also getting an energy here of someone who is exhausted. They're tired, they're exhausted. It is really coming through with this Four of Swords here. And I don't usually skip a card to go to another one, but it is screaming at me here below the Four of Cups. Someone who is exhausted from giving. And I am getting the message here that some of you are having more energy taken from you than what should be. And it's not even energy that's actually being given. It's being taken. Like an energy vampire. Okay. let's address that really quick, because that needs to stop. All right, that's doing you harm and is causing some health issues. So let's address that right now. For one, make sure that you are setting clear boundaries, okay? If it's a spouse and they take your energy and they know they're taking your energy and they actually admit to it, you know, draw the line, draw the boundary, being like, no, that is not yours to take, it is mine, okay? Do a drawing your power back to you meditation and recitation, okay? If you believe in doing manifestation and spell work, you know, do that sort of thing. Cleanse your energies, and draw back your power to you. And if you need help with that, I do have some things that I have written out that I'm more than willing to share. And I do believe I've made a video about it somewhere below in my feed. The other thing is, if you work with plants or crystals, choose those that make you feel invigorated, okay? As far as crystals go, there's going to be a few that I'm going to recommend for you, okay? Baby doll, would you grab me a labradorite, please? And then if you find it, there's a pink and black crystal in there. It's not very big, it's very small, but it's like a corally pink and black, and I think it's on the back end of that bowl. Sorry, I'm going to have my daughter grab some of these for you. Okay, so this is one form of labradorite. It's a very pale in color, but I'm going to have her get another one that's a bit more, in my opinion, labradorite-like. Okay, and thank you. And you can get, thank you, that's exactly the one. Excellent. Okay, so labradorite comes in many different, can you get me that purple lab in the Celtic bowl, that back there in the window? This one has almost like, you know, space, you know, like the Hubble telescope feel to it, right? So pick a labradorite that appeals to you, that calls to you. You know, the flashes come in so many different colors. The blue is so very healing. And then you have the purple, which, you know, it's just stunning. Just stunning. Okay? Labradorite. Have it all around you. In my opinion, you can never have enough labradorite. Keep it on you, keep it around you, keep it under your bed, especially if you have a spouse that is, or a teenage child, or something that is just drawing the energy and sucking it right out of you, okay? The other thing is, and I may not remember this right, but I believe it's luxolite, okay? And while this is a little bit more pricey for such a tiny piece, and the store I got it at is no longer business, so I'm not quite sure where to get this, but you can always reach out to your favorite crystal owner, you know, shop owner, and see if they can get it for you. But this helps to also deflect specifically energy vampires, okay? This helps deflect negative energy and keep you protected, and it helps to protect your own energetic aura. But this specifically dispels the energetic vampires, okay? Another thing, especially if you do a lot of electronic work where your energy is being taken, using smoky quartz, okay? These are beautiful towers, but you can get it in raw, polished, you know, tumble. It doesn't matter. Whatever is your bag, they've got it. Okay. These happen to come from a Thunder's Trove here on TikTok and over on Instagram, and then this one comes from the mineral mushroom here. Okay, so those are just the bare bones basics, okay, of protecting yourself, all right, from energy vampire type situations, okay, bare basics. Now, luxolite may not be a bare basic, but in your case, what I'm feeling, I do recommend that for you. All right. Another thing that you can keep around to just cleanse the general energies of yourself, your household, and your crystals, because these crystals will need to be recharged, is selenite. This is satin spar, and you can get selenite at any crystal retailer. This piece came from a Thunder's Trove here. And then if you need to have negative energy sucked out, you've just gotten bogged down with it, any form of obsidian. This is a galaxy obsidian here, and we're going to talk about your green obsidian. So now I know why that's here. Okay, will suck that negative energy out of you. Okay, and then it will need to be cleansed with the selenite afterwards. Okay, so please, please, please take care of yourself. Rest and protect yourself. If you are more interested in the plant end of things, reach out to me and I will make some suggestions for you. And just having those house plants, or around inside your home, and planting in your garden outside your house, or in a flower box, or on a balcony, can make a big difference. Okay. All right. Now back to the general message. For those of you who are suffering from anxiety, depression, or if you are feeling unfulfilled, purposeless, utterless, or having difficulty with ingratitude, then they're telling you that also there's choice connected to that too. So, for example, with anxiety and depression, you have to make the choice to get help, right? You can't just give into it and wallow in it and expect it to go away. That's not going to happen, right? You have to find things that help you, okay? And whether that's medical assistance or spiritual assistance, whatever level of assistance it is that you need, please get it, okay? Now, I am not a doctor of medicine, so take anything I say with a grain of salt. However, if you are having a discouraging day and it is not really your usual MO, there's probably a reason, okay? And that reason needs to be addressed and dealt with. But we all have off moods, right? And sometimes we need a little help. We don't necessarily need to be on medication or anything like that all the time, but sometimes, every once in a while, we may need a little help. And I find that Whispering Wildflowers, it's a tea that has things like chamomile, and I think it's got rose hips, and it's got, what's that one that helps you, the blue flower that helps you sleep? Doggone it, it was there, and now it's gone. Butterfly, blue butterfly pea. Thank you, whoever that was on the other side that pushed that through, I appreciate it. Okay, I believe it's Bigelow that makes it. I have no association with it, but I do love their teas. So if you haven't tried them, I recommend it. I also like Twinings if you're just looking for a good tea. But Irish breakfast tea is one of my favorites of theirs. But that Whispering Wildflowers, sometimes you just need help getting over the hump, and that can be of assistance there. Using those herbals and things like that to help you get through. But a big core message is make sure you're getting enough rest, okay? But also make sure you're getting enough exercise. Make sure you're getting enough community, all right? Fellowship. Talk to others, okay? Therapy is nothing to be ashamed about, okay? It exists for a reason. And in order to find emotional stability, sometimes you need somebody who knows what they're talking about to talk to, okay? So make sure you get what you need. All right, and doing that brings about this beautiful, abundant, fertile, balanced state that the Queen of Cups brings in. This is love. This is compassion. This is giving and receiving, right? This is abundance in all of its beautiful glory in your internal space, which affects and brings about abundance in your external space, okay? But make sure, once again, you are staying grounded and balanced, all right? Make sure you are taking care of yourself in health, all right? As well as everything else that you do in your day. All right, that's such a, you exude. There is someone on the other side of this that exudes such beautiful, loving, all mother energy. That it is an honor to be in it and to read for it. It is an energy in which I do try to live my own life, and I appreciate you bringing that into this reading. The High Priestess, okay, they're asking you to please listen to your intuition. All right. If your intuition is trying to tell you something about your purpose, your spiritual path, okay, don't ignore it. Don't shove it down. Don't think you're crazy, all right? Address it, okay? Sometimes an emotional instability or imbalance is brought on because we have a spiritual imbalance, right? Balancing that light and that dark energy, that masculine and feminine, the yin and the yang, right? Other times it's because we are repressing gifts that we have been given that we need to actually be practicing and paying attention to, okay? So someone here may be, I'm getting some past life energy or even present life energy of being a high priestess in some sort of order. There may be someone here who, maybe a nun or something like that too. There may be someone here who practices divination, such as the cards, the runes. You study the esoteric arts, something like that. Maybe you have a crystal shop. Okay, so they're asking you to tap into those talents, those gifts, those skills that you have. And to find your own spiritual fulfillment, okay? And through that, that will aid you in maintaining and keeping that emotional balance, okay? With the Page of Wands, do not be afraid to be a student. Do not be afraid to be like, well, I don't know anything about that. That's okay, take it one step at a time, right? One book at a time, one video at a time, one reading at a time, however you wish to learn, whatever skill or talent or gift, it's okay. You don't need to push or overwhelm yourself. Just take it one step at a time, all right? And same with emotional balance and emotional healing. One step at a time. Okay? And I'm getting a later in life energy as well. It's never too late to be a student. I don't care if you are 2 or 102. Okay? It is never too early and it is never too late to be a student of oneself and to take that journey. Okay? I'm getting some strong fire energy here. Someone here may be a Leo. Yeah. Someone here might be a Pisces. Okay. All right. Now, when you do this, okay, when you protect your energies from those who are trying to take it, all right, or when you step out of the state that people are used to you being in, and you get into that balance and that healing state, not everyone's going to understand, all right? Not everybody's going to understand the changes that happen in a person when they get back up take those metaphorical swords from themselves and stand and take charge of their own life, their own energy, okay, their own experience, to be the main character in your own life. Not everybody's going to understand that. Not everybody's going to want to stick around in that energy, and that is okay. All right? Those who are meant to remain with you will remain with you. Okay? Those who are not meant to remain with you will not. And that is part of the healing and balance process. Okay? Just remember, you're never alone. Spirits, the ancestors, and the divine are always with you. Okay? And there is a beautiful community that awaits you when you step into your true self, right? When you reveal to the world your true self. And that unknown, that unknown hidden mystery here that is you, when it is made known and shines upon the earth, you will find your tribe, you will find your kindred, you will find your coven, you will find your congregation, your people, your sisterhood, your brotherhood, okay? You will find your friendship, your family, right? Channel that maiden mother crone energy, okay? It doesn't matter what phase you're in. There are elements of all within us all, right? None of us are so simple as to be one thing, ever. So embrace the uniqueness that is you. Stand in your own power and in your own emotional balance and stability, okay? And when you do so, it brings about a whole new way of thinking about yourself and thinking about the world, right? When you see a bluebird and you cannot help but smile because it is just so beautiful, all right? That's you, all right? Your energy is so beautiful that it makes the universe smile. Acknowledge that. Grab a hold of that. Live in that, right? That you're so beautiful. That your soul, your energy is so beautiful that it makes the universe smile. Get that in your brain. Wrap your brain around that. That alone is such a healing confirmation. All right? Take that. Wield that. Do not be afraid to be you and be in your own personal power. You do not have to give everything of yourself to everyone, okay? You just don't. You need to take care of yourself or else you won't have anything left to give, all right? Overburdening yourself, overworking yourself, giving too much is going to result in this, all right? A life where you feel left alone, exhausted. It can lead to chronic illness. All right. It can lead to internal seclusion where you're hiding parts of yourself all the time. And then you're just lying to yourself and you're not being truthful with yourself anymore about what it is you need. Right? And it can really cause a really cyclical pattern of negativity to begin to form. And then what do you have that you can put out there into the world? Right? There's also the energy here of no matter your circumstances, there is always a new day. Okay? The sun will always come out tomorrow. All right? The birds will sing. The world will turn. Okay? Just please make sure you're getting the help that you need if you are suffering from anxiety and depression. Okay? But release this need or this idea that you have to do everything for everyone else and nothing for yourself, because that is going to lead down a bad road. All right? Do not deceive yourself into thinking that's okay. All right? And do not allow others to deceive you in that way. Do not allow them to take from you. Do not allow them to steal from you. Your energy is yours. Your healing gifts are yours. You decide, okay? You decide how that is used and how that is given, or not used and not given. Just by existing, you make a difference in this world. Okay? As an emotional healer, you cannot heal others if you have fallen prey to what you are healing them from yourself, right? So, take care of yourself. All right, wrap yourself in that invisible cloak, or if you need it, a literal cloak, of protection, right? And value what you have to give as the precious thing that it is, all right? And then when you want to give your heart, when you want to give your love, when you want to give your services to others, you choose how, when, and in what way, right? And absolutely you can consult with the universe and be like, okay, who is it that needs what? I'm here to give, or I'm here to serve, but within the boundaries and limitations of my own well-being, right? Okay. And do not be afraid to seek a mentor to better understand your gifts. I am getting here someone that may need to seek a teacher to learn more about Reiki, all right? Or you are a teacher of Reiki, and there may be a word of advice here about making sure that you're not giving too much to your clients and making sure you're taking care of yourself, okay? All right. Oh, this is so beautiful. Okay, so when you step into your own personal power, when you protect your energies and you find that emotional balance that needs to be had within, whether you are a giver or a taker, we all do both at some point in our lives, right? But that needs to be something you need to look at and adjust accordingly to the balance that is necessary for your life and your purpose, okay? But when you step into the energy of that, taking care of yourself, it does have positive ripple effects and affects others around you. And it makes for a better, happier, balanced life and family, right? It makes for a better, balanced, happier atmosphere. When you know yourself, love yourself, protect yourself, and have boundaries that are healthy and balanced, then others around you, one, see and learn from your own deeds and activities, right? Two, our energies all interact with one another each and every day. And so that change affects change in those around you as well, okay? And it brings about a more fertile, verdant, abundant life, okay? Don't be afraid to seize these moments of joy. Take those picnics with your family, with your lover, right? With yourself, right? On the creek bank. I'm getting here very much so that water, ocean, lake, creek, river, fountains, whatever it is that you can gain access to, water is going to be a cleansing, refreshing element for you. Emotions and love are very much grounded in water, okay? Some faiths practice something called baptism, where, you are, now I know some faiths, like sprinkle or that sort of thing, but there are others that dunk the body completely into the water, right, when that happens. And this emotional cleansing is kind of like that. Not to some, idea of a deity or anything like that. Just a washing and cleansing of the soul, the spirit, the mind, the heart, a reset, almost like a death of the old way of doing things and a birth of the new, better, healthier way of doing things. There's a video that I watched on YouTube recently. I think it's called Freya TV, or it might have been another channel along that lines, Freya of the North or something like that. And she had an interesting perspective that said that one of the things that causes emotional imbalance and exhaustion is that you have not actually gone through a complete death. Now, she's not talking about a physical death, okay, at all. She's talking about that release of the old, all right, so that the new can live in its fullest fruition and purpose. So if there is something you need to release and let go of, but you just haven't been able to do so, she recommended that you perform some form of like ritual to let it go. Whether that's some sort of cultural funerary sort of oriented ritual, whether it's a cord cutting, whether it's, writing things down on a piece of paper and burning them, whatever, whether it's, putting your thoughts and feelings and things in a stone and casting it away from you, whatever suits you, okay? Whatever you need to do to release and let go, to complete that death of the old so that the new can be fully reborn. Do that, okay? All right. And one of the ways that they are suggesting that you help with your balance, regardless of which energy you are here in this reading, is meditation, okay? Whether that's through silent meditation, guided meditation, meditation through motion, such as Tai Chi, taking a walk in the woods. Some people find sewing, meditative. Whatever it is that you find to be meditative. I'm getting here that water aerobics, but like slowly, like water Tai Chi, type thing might be a benefit. Okay. They're asking you to consider taking on that kind of a self-care practice. All right. And when you do, there's just such a joyous energy here. This new beginning that you will get is extraordinary. Sorry, having some frogs. It sets you off on a journey like none you've had before. Okay, knowing yourself, stepping forward in that boldness and that bravery. Forgive me, my asthma is really flaring up. And it brings you to this place of independence, right? This material abundance, of health, wealth, and household, okay? Where you have more than enough. And there, once again, strong indications here for taking the time to take care of yourself, taking time to restore your energies, all right? And that is beautiful. I mean, beautiful. And don't be afraid to express yourself. This woman here in this, I don't think you can see it, but she's got red streamers in her hair, Be you. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, If you want to wear, vines on your dress, or if you want to have red streamer hair, or you want to wear bright colored shoes all the time because it makes you smile, you want to wear a witch's hat, whatever, just do it. Just do it. And people who have a problem with it, that's something they need to work on. Okay, don't worry about it. Ace of Wands is also a new spiritual beginning. So as you do this, you will begin to grow and understand more about your spiritual power. And believe me, you do have it. You are powerful. All right? And you'll learn how to use your gifts, your inner knowledge, your inner knowing, that song that sings within your soul, all right? And you will know how to use it most effectively in the world and for yourself, all right? And that will lead to a beautiful, beautiful karmic, and not in the negative way that people use karmic, this positive way, okay? Judgment can seem like such a harsh word. But when you have lived a life with purpose and love, that transformation, okay, that music of the soul there are rewards beyond this life for that, regardless of what spiritual beliefs you may hold. Okay? So, live in that. Sing your song, whatever that looks like. Okay? Be balanced, protect yourself, get the help you need, and sing that beautiful soul song. All right? So, let us look at the green obsidian here. Let's see. Green obsidian helps with emotional healing, growth, release, negativity, inner peace. It gets a stronger connection with nature, protection from negative energies, okay, important. It can help to relieve stress, support immune system, remove emotional blockages, very important. Gains mental clarity. It works with the heart, root, and earth star chakras. Okay, so this is an important one for this reading. Very, very, very important. Okay, and along that line, this came from the mineral mushroom. It's the only place I have seen green obsidian. I'm sure other places have it, but it's the only place I've seen it, and I know the quality there is good, and I trust it. So you can find them on TikTok or at their store, the mineralmushroom.store, I believe it is. And then the blue coral also came from there, so if you're interested in that as well. Blue coral aids in calm, clarity, communication, emotional balance, inner peace, stress and anxiety relief. It enhances intuition, spiritual awareness, meditation, so that's coming through strong again, self-expression. That one was an important message in this reading here. And it works with the throat and third eye chakra, okay? So, two very good crystals for you to consider there. All right. We are, you know what, usually for this we go with a Moonology card, but today I am feeling the White Light Oracle for you by Alana Fairchild. It's funny. The same happened with pile 1. I usually do White Light for them, and I felt the Moonology for today. Okay. Ivory Wish Fulfilling Crow. And I'm also feeling that one as well. We'll see why when it comes through here. Ain Soft R. But Ivory Wish Fulfilling Crow, number 39. You can have what you truly want. Such knowledge helps soften and release fear, grasping, control, and doubt. So that midlife crisis energy that we saw a little bit here, this isn't just for that, but it most certainly will help with that, okay? That releasing fear, grasping, control, and doubt, okay? That leads to midlife crisis so much, but have confidence that the universe hears your prayers and is even now leading you into that which you seek. You can take sanctuary within your spiritual connection whenever you need stabilization and protection against the fluctuations of the external world. No matter what is happening around you, there is a way through to the fulfillment of your potential. Okay? And don't doubt that. You know, make sure that you believe in yourself. You have faith in yourself. Okay? Your thoughts can help shape your reality, so make sure that your thoughts are good. A way through the struggle has already been created for you, and you are being led onto that path. Your authentic soul path may include recognition and acclaim, notable success and admiration. Be grateful, but do not be dazzled or distracted by such experiences. Focus on what connects you to your heart and grounds you in the simplicity of spiritual truth, which is the practice of love, kindness, and peace. This will allow for successful progress in the material world without disturbing the sanctity of your soul. So, for those of you that are in the public eye or are about to be, You know, this is a really important message to bear in mind, okay? And all the more reason to, you know, protect your energies, okay? Fame can be a real energy, I don't know any other word to use, but energy sucker, but that's going to sound awful, isn't it? But you get what I'm trying to say. Here's a little prayer that might be of some use to you. I call upon the pure light of wisdom, compassion, and divine love. I invite the genius of spiritual grace to enter into my heart, and with mercy clear the path to the highest loving consciousness. I loosen my mental and emotional grip on fixed opinions and open with trust to the higher wisdom and creative path that will set my heart free. May all beings know such merciful grace and generous assistance for their greatest good. I hope that you found this message to be helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments. If there's anything that could be improved upon, please let me know that as well. Be gentle and kind as you do so if you would. Remember, you are beautiful. You are loved always. Okay? And you are strong enough to do what is needed to take care of yourself, all right? And to still be able to positively affect the world. I love you. Bye. If you chose pile number 3 with the Steampunk Tarot, the stromatolite fossil, the volcano agate, and the apatite crystal, then this is your reading. Now, how I read tarot is I read both the definitions as well as intuitively, allowing the cards to fall where they may, reading both uprights and reversals. Regardless of your spiritual beliefs, you are welcome and respected here. And today we are using the Four of Cups to draw us into questions about our emotional state, you know, our emotional balance. So for example, what can we do to aid us in achieving emotional balance? What do we need to leave behind, let go of, release, you know, in order to achieve said state, okay? Also, you know, what gifts, what things that we should be being grateful for and noticing that our current blockage is not allowing us to see, right? And we are leaving that open to anything within, you know, this present life, right? But we're also allowing for things from past lives that may have come through to affect this one. Okay? And we are going to allow those for clarification if needed. All right. So, and forgive me right off the bat, for some reason these particular readings have been really long this time around, much longer than usual. So if it takes too long for you, feel free to save it and come back to it later, okay? All right, so we're starting off with the Ten of Wands, all right? And the Ten of Wands talks about, you know, carrying a heavy burden, working, and in a lot of the other decks that I have seen, it's about working too hard, being a workaholic, carrying too much of a burden, right? In this particular deck with the Steampunk, she is actually carrying her load very well, right? And she is moving forward with steadiness. And as she moves, the path clears, the cloudy mistiness clears, and she is able to see the future ahead, right? She has a goal. Her eyes are set upon it, and she is doing what is necessary to achieve that goal, okay? So, the only word of advice I'd say with this is just make sure you're not overdoing it, right? Make sure you're taking care of yourself. But it does look like you know what you're doing, you know, for the most part here. I mean, this is pretty steady, sturdy carrying of a load. This is determination, but determination with knowledge and understanding, right? Okay. And And it's with personal power. I mean, look at this Empress energy. She is fertile. She is abundant, right? In all of her glory that an Empress is. But she is also so filled with fiery passion and power that it radiates, it resonates off of the card, right? She is the, if you'll excuse my expression, badass of this deck. This is the one, right? So, strong personal power, okay? Fertile, abundant energy. So this speaks of your hard work paying off and being successful. And that is backed up with the Ace of Wands. That new beginning, that new energy that brings into, you can tap into, okay? But I'm also getting a feel for ancestral energy that you are able to tap into, okay? There's a druidic element here. I'm seeing, like knight in shining armor energy as well. Perhaps someone here might have had a past life in the Crusades or something. Not that that should be romanticized in any way, because it shouldn't, but you get what I'm saying here, okay? If that doesn't apply to you, just disregard it. I am also getting a note of someone here who absolutely loves the holidays, like Yule, Christmas, St. Nick's, Hanukkah, Hogmanay, New Year. I'm getting a strong energy of someone who really, really enjoys the holidays. Okay. And you are working and mastering a craft, right? That there's work is coming through here so strongly. You are definitely diligent, okay? Some of you might be an apprentice, an intern learning a new skill, right? Some of you might be returning to school to hone your skills in the advancements that have been made. Some of you are masters who have been in the craft for a very, very long time. And you not only have you know how to do the old way of doing things, but you have also incorporated a new way of doing things, right? So growth in your material sphere. So whether that's, your health, your wealth, your home, right? The tangible things of life. Okay, that's what the Pentacles are dealing with here. And you are making steady progress, right? Grounded, balanced, steady progress. The Knight of Pentacles is very much about that sort of energy, okay? And once again, and coming in under the Empress, we have that power, that powerful energy. The Six of Wands energy, okay? You will be victorious. You will succeed. This is, like the laurel wreaths on your brow, the triumph in the streets. Okay, this is the kind of energy we're talking about. We are talking about, when Naples wins a football game and the streets are filled with people running and screaming and cheering and yelling and fireworks are going off, I don't know if any of you have ever seen Naples, Italy when it's like that, but you should watch a video. It's quite interesting. When I was there, a game was won, not even for Naples, and they just went absolutely, it was fantastic. The energy was just amazing. So that's what we're dealing with here. Very celebratory, very powerful energy. So you will be successful, okay? You will triumph. And part of that is maintaining that emotional balance. And here with the Queen of Cups, we are seeing someone who is compassionate, all right? They do have control over their emotions. This in this deck, this one also speaks of the Temperance card, how, and sometimes the Star card, right? It has all those kind of vibes all thrown into each other. And it also sometimes gives off that wheel energy, the Wheel of Fortune, right? So regardless of fate, the time, the tides, you will be able to maintain emotional balance, okay? And there may be things that happen along the way, and I am seeing some things that may have happened along the way or might still, right? But this is saying you will be able to maintain your balance, okay? It's a you've got this card. Just be patient with yourself and make sure you're taking care of yourself. There may be some conflicts along the way. There may already have been some conflicts along the way. Naysayers, difficulties, technology issues, whatever it might be, okay? Doubters, family strife. But you will be victorious. The point of the Seven of Wands is, yes, there are difficulties. Yes, there are conflicts. But that is a mountain you can climb. That is something you can be victorious over. All right. So do not fear. All right. You do have the strength. I am getting here that someone is doubting whether they actually have the strength reserves because they've been putting all this effort in and they're getting tired, right? They're getting exhausted. But this tells you you have an infinite, okay, strength to draw upon. And if you need help, just ask the other side, right? Spirits, the ancestors, and the divine, just ask, okay? I'm also getting that there may be a Leo energy here. I'm also getting that there might be a nurse, a doctor, a physician's assistant, someone who works in the medical field, or I'm also getting someone may have broken their hand or wounded their hand in some way. Oh, this is an interesting vibe. Okay. There's a strong, okay, I am seeing a strong masculine presence. Now, it may be male or female. We all have male and female in us, okay? But, masculine and feminine in us. But for this particular message, and it's not going to be for everyone, I am seeing that a strong masculine figure in someone's life is going to be in need of care. There is some sort of a wound, a surgery, broken hand, something, all right, is going to need attention and to be cared for. And while they are strong and they are fierce and they are, brave and very, they may be very, macho sort of energy that they usually put out into the world, right? Or they may be in a respected profession that requires them to look like they are in control all the time or know things all the time, like a doctor or a surgeon or something like that, right? Someone who's in charge, a boss, that sort of thing, okay? But I am seeing that this person, whether it is you or it is someone in your sphere or about to be, I am getting the message about to be in your sphere. There's going to be someone that is going to need your assistance, your care, okay? And when you give it, like the beautiful angel that you are, it is going to create a bond. Their emotions will be shared there, okay? Now, that may not have longevity or stick-to-itivity, or it might be that is your soulmate, okay? I am not going to claim either way because this energy is in flux. It's not, and I'm getting maybe more than one person listening to this is actually going to apply to, which is interesting given the specifics of the medical situation. But so for some of you, it may be a soulmate connection that does last, okay? But for others of you, this is a connection that is meant to be temporary, okay? It is a connection that is meant to be moved on from, but you will have learned something from it about yourself, about what you're capable of, okay? And it will actually help you to move on from something that you have experienced. It'll teach you something about self-care. It'll teach you something about loving yourself, finding your passion, knowing yourself. I'm also getting something that, forgive me, I'm not going to be as blunt as the other side is being about it, but I'm getting the message that there will be some, how do I put this? A rekindling of passions in the bedroom space, okay? And this may be temporary, but it awakens something within you, something that you had repressed or forgotten or didn't know that you needed or about yourself, okay? But there is that energy there, okay, that this person is going to awaken something within you, that kundalini sort of energy, okay? And that is going to allow you to, if you'll forgive the expression, put the last nails in the coffin and let go and release the things that do not serve you. The past will be dead and gone, and that new future awaits for you. You know, it's almost like there's a throne, you know, waiting for you to step into your personal power, right? It's just waiting. It's like, okay, this is you. The universe is saying, this is you. You are the King of Wands, all right? You are this amazing powerhouse, right? Capable of achieving anything, okay? But there's still some things that you need to see, you need to learn, you need to balance, you know, as you come through. Make sure you stay that way. But there is a place for you. There is a throne for you. There is a reward for you. There is a triumph. There is acknowledgement. Some of you may, once again, like I said here, some of you may actually have public acclaim that occurs for something that you achieve, okay? But with that can sometimes come negativity. For example, when you make it big in a public way, okay, or even if it's like a promotion at work or within your family or something like that, there is always going to be someone who, through jealousy, envy, just having a bad attitude in general, that's going to say something negative, right? And in a day and age where we have so much access to electronics and people can say whatever they want behind a username that's not their own, or through what they feel is anonymity, although no one is truly anonymous. You know, I mean, I'm not an electronic expert, but I know enough to know that no one is ever 100%, you know, anonymous. But so be kind, you know, to one another. Don't speak mean things to one another. Be happy for one another. You know, it's not hard to be happy for someone else's successes. It's actually really easy. It takes far more effort to be mean and spiteful and hateful and angry than it ever does to be nice and happy and rejoice with someone else, okay? And if you are that person who is being successful and you are having the, you know, the stabs of other people's words, you know, hit your heart and your mind, do not become overwhelmed by it, anxious by it. Do not take it within yourself, okay? Reject it. Leave it where they left it. Do not bring it into your space. Do not bring it into your mind and heart, okay? There are always going to be people who say mean things. Everyone is on a different stage in their journey, okay? Everyone. And that's what life is. It is a journey, and it is about learning, okay? So when someone is mean and nasty to you, I want you to try and remember something. They are learning a lesson, okay? And they just haven't learned that one yet. But they will. Their time does come. All right? Just remember, they are learning a lesson right now, and that's okay. It doesn't need to affect you at all. It doesn't need to affect me at all, right? It's okay to acknowledge within yourself, you know what? They're learning that lesson, and I hope they do. You know, I hope they're able to grow. And if I am a catalyst for that growth, you know, then all right, so be it. You know, another jewel in your crown, okay? So just leave any, bad reviews, any nasty comments, any little jibs or quips or side eyes or angry glares or any of those things. Just, that's their lesson to learn, not yours. Just leave it behind. Flick it away, okay? Shoe fly, don't bother me sort of energy. The Page of Swords. When you train yourself to think this way, okay, when you become a student of your own thoughts and you train yourself to think this way, and you don't carry the heavy burdens of other people's opinions, life becomes a whole different kind of adventure, right? It becomes this freeing, amazing adventure that is yours for the taking, okay? And if you need to picture yourself on a hot air balloon ride, up and above the naysayers and the mean and the nasties, then do that. And just be like, I'm up here by myself and I'm good with it. Whatever you need to do, whatever mental picture you need to create, no matter how silly, like I just was, that it sounds, okay? Do what you need to do for yourself to separate yourself from that. I always recommend dancing as a really good form of release, just from the beginning of history, dancing as a form of release and connection with the divine and inner self is just a fantastic way to release negative energy, okay, and lift the endorphins and things in the mind. Five of Wands, once again, we have that conflict energy, okay? Just because we may remain above the maddening crowds, does not mean that they're going to go away, okay? It will be a continual exercise in not letting it bother you. But that's okay. You will be victorious. Look at that, right there, okay? You will be victorious. See that lifting, okay? Lift your laurels, right? Hold it above the crowd. It'll be all right. No matter how many naysayers there may be, no matter how many conflicts that may arise, you will overcome them. And in so doing, you have an entirely new beginning in your material sphere, right? So not only do you have that new beginning for spirituality and emotional balance, and you're just kicking ass, if you'll excuse my language, and do please forgive me if there's children or anything in present, forgive me for that. But I want you to hear the emphasis, okay? You are kicking butt, all right? You are. I see it all over this reading. You have got this. You've got it in spades, babe. Just, remember to stay grounded. Don't lose yourself along the way, okay? And remember, this new beginning, for Pentacles, it's material world, your health, your wealth, your home, right? So some of you may wind up moving and having a new home. But not only that, but it's a portal, right? It's like a portal, like the 999 portal that we're having right now, where I'm doing this reading. It's a portal from one way of life and thinking, one way of working and doing things, to another, okay? It's apprentice to master. It's needing money to having more money than you could ever spend. It is that kind of a new beginning, that kind of an energy, right? And with that, you may have some, you may have some naysayers that say, oh, they don't deserve it. That should have been mine. Why didn't I have it? But you do. Okay, the Justice card and the balance here with this is absolutely saying you do deserve it. Okay, don't doubt it. Don't let the doubts niggle in your mind. Don't let them steal your joy. Okay, you do deserve these beautiful, beautiful advancements. Okay. I'm also seeing here that you need to be careful when it comes to contracts. Okay, just a little side note here. Make sure you read the fine print. Make sure it is fair and balanced. Make sure you're getting what you are supposed to get. Okay? That's just a little side note there. And this corset is really giving me also a thought of don't let anyone restrict your freedom, your breathing, okay? Don't get tied into something you don't want to be tied into, okay? Pay attention to that, all right? Okay, now, that being said, all of this leads to this beautiful thing that we're seeing, this beautiful future, right? And the question comes, well, specifically, can you tell me more? What kind of a beautiful future? That's a little vague. What are we dealing with here? So, here's what we're dealing with. Pentacles, money. Okay? You will have money. That's really straightforward. Take good care of it. Appreciate it, respect it, use it accordingly. Money. That is a big one right off the bat. Okay? Travel. You choose the path, you choose the way, but spiritually and emotionally and balance, is definitely in this Two of Wands, but I am getting travel, okay? So when we're asking what you gain from this experience, we have money and we have travel, all right? Star. Now, this is rejuvenation, restoration, balance and light and that sort of thing, but it's also fame. Okay? Now, that being said, fame is not going to be the answer for every single person in the history of time that listens to this reading. Okay? So, we are going to allow both meanings here. Health, right? And success. Stardom in your own sphere, like maybe a promotion at work, right? Maybe you become a YouTube star, or a TikTok star, or maybe you actually are an actor. I don't know, right? But you are getting acknowledgement, okay? But I'm also getting that health message, some sort of a health success as well, okay? There is acknowledgement coming. The Knight of Cups, followed by the Ten of Cups, also shows me that you will have love. You will have emotional fulfillment, fulfilling relationships, but specifically, I am seeing romantic love. Okay? Stable love. All right? And you will be taking action upon it. All right, so those are the more specifics of that beautiful future that we got a little peek into. Now, we are going to read for your crystals. Okay? And we are looking at the stromatolite. This helps with wisdom of ancient life, as well as wisdom of new beginnings, right? So, if you are looking into your Akashic records, if you are looking into your past lives, this is one that would be of benefit to you, okay? But also, it helps you to move forward intelligently into your new beginning, okay? It aids in transformation, connection to deep history of the earth and consciousness, cyclical nature of life, resilience, overcoming challenges, connecting with ancestral strength, which we absolutely saw, those infinite reserves of strength there, meditation, past life recall, appreciation of diversity, continuity, life on our planet. It is a microbial fossil that's one layered upon the top of another. Okay, that's how this is made, where you get the swirling pattern. It works with the root and heart chakras. Okay, and that's a unique one. We got that at the atomic squid. I hadn't really seen that one much. Okay, now we have the volcano agate. Okay, volcano agate aids in balance, harmony, grounding, passion, creativity, vitality, stability, protection, courage, strength, once again that's coming through here, perception, metamorphosis, and you're healing emotionally, absolutely. But there are some that believe it can help with physical healing as well. So it works with the root chakra. Okay, and we have apatite. Apatite is known as the humanitarian stone, and it helps with self-expression, motivation, balance, communication, releasing the past. It aids in gaining perspective on an issue, appreciating the present moment, gaining higher consciousness. It nurtures a desire to be of service to others. It enhances intellect, increases energy, and prevents burnout. So I'm really, really feeling this one for this pile. And it works with the throat chakra. Okay, so if you are in communications in any way, that is a good one to have, if you're doing videos or you're an actor or any of those things. Okay, all right. As far as your oracle goes, isn't that interesting? They're actually saying there might be some more stones I'm supposed to share with you. I figured 3 was probably sufficient, but they're saying, nope, there's more. Okay. Aquamarine, fluidity, soothing, and go with the flow. So, and that's the Queen of Cups energy there with the Queen of Hearts, which we have here. Okay, go with the flow. So that balance, there's no need to be a perfectionist about everything. Okay, I'm getting that message there. Jade, wealth, success, and wisdom. All right, so that backs up that wealth card that we saw there, and the success fame card there. And then we have opal, happiness, faithfulness, and loyalty. And that is that 8 of Pentacles energy there with the 8 of Diamonds. So that is a beautiful energy. And this jade has a 3 of Pentacles with the 3 of Diamonds energy. So that's working together to achieve a goal. So you might be working with others. All right. Okay. And then we have King of Wands, sapphire, wisdom, virtue, and good fortune. King of Wands makes an appearance once again. All right. I hope that you found this to be helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments. If there was anything you felt could have been improved upon, please also let me know that. Be gentle and kind as you do so if you would. Remember, you are beautiful. You are loved always, right? And, you've got this. Seriously. If there was ever a reading that says, I've got this more than this reading, I just couldn't tell. This is a you have got this, right? Come what may. Your ancestors are rooting for you. The spirits, the divine, they are rooting for you. What is about to unfold for you is fantastic. And I say that without exaggeration, okay? This is fantastic. This is beautiful. If any of you need a little help in keeping the faith and helping to manifest this outcome that you desire and that you see before you, using these crystals that were pulled in this card row here, absolutely are excellent for that. Making yourself a manifestation money bowl, where you put things like pyrite and cinnamon and anything that reminds you, jade is a good one for that, reminds you of wealth, and you put it in there with the intention of success, prosperity, wealth, abundance. If you need assistance with that, just reach out and let me know. Maybe I can do a video on it or something, or talk you through it. But I believe it's the Witch of Wanderlust actually has a few that she's done on her channel that really explain it quite well. All right, so I am so excited for you. If you want to come back and share what this is for you, I'd love to hear about it. All right, take care of yourselves. Bye. If you chose pile number 4 with the Rider Tarot, the Snowflake Obsidian, and the Bumblebee Jasper, then this is your reading. Now, how I like to read tarot is I read both definitions as well as intuitively, allowing the cards to fall where they may, reading both uprights and reversals. Regardless of your spiritual beliefs, you are welcome and respected here. Today we are using the Four of Cups to draw us into the questions regarding our emotional balance, okay? And that includes what we might need to do to help maintain an emotional balance, what we might need to surrender and let go of. We're also leaving it open to past life situations that we have carried into this one that are affecting our present emotional balance, and what gifts, what things that we should be grateful for that the universe is trying to show us, but that we're just not seeing because of, actually I'm seeing all of those. This may be longer than I had intended. Okay, that's a lot, but that's what they're wanting me to do, so we will do that. All right. I'm gonna maneuver this because that is a lot of cards. Apparently, they've been really long through these piles. And then, you know, if you need clarification on something, you know, you can always reach out to me, because this is a lot. This is a lot of cards, guys. Okay. If it's too long for you, you know, just pause it, come back to it later, whatever you need to do. Okay. And then we'll come to these for clarifiers if we need to. All right. So we're dealing with a lot. Your guys' first card was the Death card. Now, please do not freak out. The Death card is one of the most feared and misunderstood cards of the entire tarot. The Death card simply means change. Now, it does mean a complete change, okay? And oftentimes this can be a complete change of the self, okay? The death of an old way of doing things or thinking about things, and the birth of a new, all right? It can also mean complete changes, like a complete change of where you live, what you do for a living, who you're married to or not married to, you know, change in all its many forms. That is a complete change. Change in how you think about religion and spirituality, right? It is not limited. It can cover any and all expanses of complete change, all right? Now, while on rare occasion it can mean death, that is not what I am getting here, okay? So do not panic, do not fear. And that is backed up by the change of the Tower over here as well, okay? So, change. Some sort of change has caused you to have some sort of emotional distress. Now, that could mean that somebody passed on and you're feeling grief and sorrow and that sort of thing. That absolutely could be the case, all right? But whatever it was, it caused a change in the way you think. It caused a storm within your internal space, okay? And you have been ever since trying to regain your balance, your equilibrium. You've been fighting the good fight, though. I mean, this is a guy who is fighting against the storm and is not giving up. It doesn't matter, you know, rain, snow, sleet, or hail. I'm definitely getting the mailman vibe going on here, okay? You are fighting the good fight, all right? And the other side is noticing, and they are proud of you, and they are with you. You are not alone, all right? And they are trying to show you this new beginning, all right? They are giving you a gift, okay? There is something here that they are trying to do for you. It is a new beginning. Now, pentacles can be health, wealth, household, okay? But there is something here that they are trying to give you, all right? But you're being robbed of this opportunity by your own thoughts, okay? And they're not going to withdraw it, all right? Don't be freaking out about that, okay? It's not that kind of a situation, all right? This is just, they want you to open your eyes. They want you to see. And what they want you to do is, one, stop deceiving yourself about yourself, okay? You need to face the truth within yourself, whatever that might be. Okay? At some point in our lives, we all have to face the good, the bad, and the ugly within ourselves. And then choose. Right? We have to choose to follow after that which best serves us. Okay? Also, don't be deceived by others. Do not judge your self-worth by what you do, by what other people think or say. Okay? You are not defined by any of those things. Okay? And you are not defined by the job that you do. You're not defined by your employment. So if you lost your job and you feel like you lost your sense of identity, the way you make money, the way you think about yourself, that does not define you either, right? We can all, when people ask us about they ask about ourselves, one of the biggest questions, well, what do you do, right? And for some people, that can be a really awkward and uncomfortable question. I know that there are a lot of people who are made to feel less than in that conversation, and that's not okay. And if you've lost your job or something like that, that can make that even worse, right? And that's just part of everyday conversation with people when you meet them and you talk and you things like that. So that's like a wound that just keeps on being opened. So you need to let that go, okay? I'm also getting the energy of a workaholic who that's the way they're showing love towards their family. And you need to let that go too. They just want you, okay? They just want you alive and healthy and well, and with them, loving them, being patient and loving and kind, right? So lay down your burden, okay? Whatever this is that is causing you to have this imbalanced emotional state and patterns of thinking, you need to lay that burden down, okay? Just let it go, all right? Be the king of your own mind. Be the king of your own thoughts, okay? Transform yourself by knowing yourself, right? Be the king of your own mind. Be the ruler of your own mind. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. Gender has no place when it comes to this. We're talking about the level of authority, okay, of your own mind, all right? And that helps you to step into your own personal power, okay? The Emperor is about power. It is about authority, absolutely, right? But it is also about knowing one's self to such a degree that nothing and no one can shake the foundations of your soul, right? Now, the Emperor is an Aries power card, and I am getting some Aries energy here. So I'm picking up on some Libra energy here for what that's worth. Take it or leave it as it resonates. But, and protect yourself. Wear your armor, when you go into battle. Do what you got to do. Get the job done, right? But not to your own detriment, okay? Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. When you're doing the shadow work, self-care is really important. And I know that's become a bit of a catchphrase, but it is really important. And it's part of that foundation, right? Okay? So know yourself to such a degree that no one and nothing, no change, can break the foundations of your soul, all right? But that is a choice, and it's not an easy choice. So much of what we do defines who we are, in our minds, right? It's not actually what defines us, but in our minds, it does, right? And we're all guilty of that to some degree, okay? But you have to make the choice. And while you may not know what the future holds, it may be quite an unknown area, especially when it comes to emotions and things. You know, sometimes it's safer to be the workaholic and overwork all the time because that is what you know. That's something you feel like you can control. But you're going to have to acknowledge at some point or another that no one is ever in 100% control of their life. Things change. Things happen. All right? The Tower is very much about sudden change, and it can represent disaster, and absolutely life does hold disasters. But also life holds new beginnings where you rebuild something better, something stronger. Okay? And then that brings about such a beautiful, strong, independent energy, all right? And with the material world, you know, once again, like I said before, this is health, wealth, household, but it's also how you ground yourself, right? The energy you choose to ground yourself with. And look at how strong this woman is. Look at how stable she is. How self-assured, but in the most beautiful golden light sort of way, right? It's not in a stuck-up way or a way that makes you turn away. It is in a way that draws you in. She attracts. She doesn't chase what she wants. She attracts it to her. And all she has to do is exist in her true, authentic self. Okay? And when you do that, yes, it does require work. It requires shadow work. It requires actually truly knowing yourself and what you actually want out of life. Right? But once you put that work in, you will see the fruits of your labor. Okay? You will see it come into physical fruition. All right? You know, you work on the inside, it will show itself on the outside. And taking that action on emotional stability sets you free. Okay? It sets you free from a prison you didn't even know you'd put yourself in. Okay? It sets you free. It's just that feeling. It's just like, oh, it hits the heart just like a, you know, I don't even know, you know. It's just like a sudden burst of air, you know, just hits you right in the heart chakra. And with that comes that emotional stability, right? That is, it is solid. It is sturdy, okay? You know, he is of the earth. He is on the earth, right? But he's also apart from it, you know? His energy flows, he gives and he takes, you know, but he also knows how to withdraw and take care of himself. All right, so keep that emotional balance, that emotional flow. There's no need to be a miser with your money or your energies, or anything like that. Things are going to be okay. They are going to work out. All right, you will have the stability that you seek. And not only that, okay, but they're showing me a partnership, whether that's romantic, whether that's a business partnership. I'm getting some Leo energy coming in here. It could be family, it could be an organization or a group, it could be a soulmate, okay? With the Two of Cups, it's definite union and partnership, okay? You're not alone. You do not walk alone. Now, we all fall prey to falling back into bad habits. Okay, we all fall prey into what I call going down the rabbit hole. Okay, and at night it is particularly a bad time for that sort of thing when the mind keeps going. So when you are feeling this way, okay, when you're reverting back to negative habits of thinking, negative ways of thinking about yourself, of thinking about the world, of thinking, oh, I'm not enough, when you absolutely are enough, okay? Remember to hold on to that clarity of thought that you gained through all of this shadow work, okay? The Queen of Swords knows who she is and isn't afraid to express it. She stands in her own authority with clear knowledge, all right? She holds the wisdom of knowing oneself. She holds the knowledge of knowing oneself and how that guides her interactions with the rest of the world, okay? Remember that clarity that you gained in all of this shadow work. Do not allow the demons of the mind or anyone else outside of that, right? The devil can represent other people, just gibbering in your ear about this, that, or the other. Voices from your past, a cousin who yells at you and says you're this, that, or the other, or a parent who doesn't truly understand what you're trying to do. They may love you, but they may not 100% understand, and that's okay, all right? But don't let that draw you back down into this energy, okay? When you are feeling this way, okay, and you need to concentrate in this clearness of thinking, but you just can't seem to get this out of your head, whatever this negative thing might be, whether it's something that you did, something you said, something that you heard, read, whatever. Take swift action, all right? Don't let it fester, okay? Don't let it stew and brew and create a black cloud within yourself, okay? Take immediate action, okay, to restore that emotional balance. And remember that this energy right here, this emotional abundance and fulfillment, okay, that is where you're meant to be, right? This balance, okay? Meditate, take care of yourself, rest if you need to, find healthy ways of dealing with the swords of the mind, okay? All right? The demons of the mind. Do not, I pray, do not allow it to pull you back down, okay? Do not allow it to rob you of your progress. Because there's such abundance in being grounded and emotionally stable. The Queen of Pentacles combines the beautiful energy of the material world and the groundedness of the earth itself with that loving and compassionate energy that you see with the Queen of Cups, right? She just, in this deck, she just gives off such a beautiful continuity of spirit, all right? And this is what you're meant to have, all right? That rock solid, stable energy, that is just, you are a fertile soul, an abundant soul, as old as the mountains themselves. You've been through some stuff. You've seen some stuff, okay? All right? And one of the lessons in this life for you is choosing a path regardless of what else might happen or be said, and keeping to that path, okay? Leaving behind what does not serve you, whether that's religious dogma that does not serve you, whether that is your own thoughts, whether that is gossip from others, whether that is a misconception of who and what you are and your purpose here on this planet, okay? Whatever that might be, leave it behind and stay firm on the path that you have chosen and that is congruent with your soul, okay? And, sometimes that requires, and that fell on the floor. Hang on just a second. Oh, I grab that. Sometimes that requires you to go into what is often called hermit mode, right? Sometimes you have to go back within and redo some of that shadow work. You know, it is a continual process. It's not overnight, and it does take time and effort, right? Sometimes you do have to go back into hermit mode to recalibrate yourself, okay? To release those fears, those sorrows, those doubts, those swords of the mind and the heart. Life is full of change. It is full of loss. It is full of a great many things that hurt, right? But it is also filled with beauty, okay, and love and kindness. And you have everything you need to get through any difficult time, any journey, any phase of the journey, okay? The magician is all about having what you need. On the fool's journey, the first person the fool encounters is the magician. And the magician gives him the wand, the cup, the pentacle, the sword. You know, he gives them the tools he needs for the journey, okay? And you were born with the tools that you need. Your soul knows what you need, okay? It has this infinite knowing, wisdom, to guide you forward, okay, that you can use your intuition and lean into. You know, surrendering to the divine is not a weakness, it is a strength, all right? And we have divine within us all. Do not shy away from community, okay? Celebrate your victories as you come. You make progress, and you know, and you're able to stop that rabbit hole before it gets too far. Celebrate that moment. Absolutely celebrate it. Share it with a friend, okay? Reap the benefits of the harvest, okay? Celebrate. Find your people. Do not be afraid to put yourself out there, okay? And that brings about a whole other level of abundance, okay? A whole other level of grounding, of solidity and stability, all right? And in knowing yourself, it will give you the confidence to make progress and step forward in the material realm, such as your wealth, right? And in so doing, your destiny, your purpose, your reason for being here will be revealed. We all affect the world around us, okay? Our energies mingle with other people's. It's up to us to decide how that energy is going to be impacted, right? Do you want to be a negative, self-doubting energy that enters other people's fields? Or do you want to be a beautifully abundant energy that enters other people's fields so that they too begin to better understand their own selves and their own destiny, okay? You can break the cycle. You can be a game changer, okay? Just by being you, the real, true, authentic you, okay? All right. Just, you know, remember, we all have to adapt to change. The wheel always turns, and with the wheel turning, changes come. Okay? Just retrain your mind not to think of change as always being a bad thing, all right? Because with it, while it may seem bad in the beginning, can come many, many blessings we just haven't seen yet. Okay? All right, let's look at your crystals, and we'll start with the snowflake obsidian. Now, snowflake obsidian has all the other qualities of regular obsidian, you know, such as clarity, protection, self-control, showing us the truth, releasing the past, aiding us in keeping a positive mindset, clearing away negative energy, grounding, and strength. All very excellent things to have in life, regardless of what you're going through, especially if you're going through shadow work. It also takes and absorbs negative energy out of a person, right? Out of a space. So because of all of that, it does need to be charged regularly. So I recommend doing so with something like satin spar selenite or clear quartz, okay, and that amplifies the energy of other things, okay, because obsidian, it just takes such a toll that it does need to be cleansed regularly, okay. And it works with the root, earth, and higher earth chakras. Snowflake obsidian, on top of all of those things, also helps you see patterns of behavior that you need to release and let go of and do not serve you. Not only in yourself, but in others, okay? And then it aids you in emotionally healing, all right, from that, all right? So that one is a really apropos one for this pile. And then we have the bumblebee jasper, and this is a little bitty piece here. Honestly, I don't even remember where this one came from, but I have seen an amazing chunk of, I don't know if it's a slab or a chunk, I wouldn't know how to identify it, but it is amazing that the mineral mushroom has got. So if you like bumblebee jasper and you feel that this is calling to you, I recommend reaching out to her, because she's got some amazing pieces. But bumblebee jasper helps with courage, confidence, optimism. It helps you to embrace change, and that's crucial for this pile, okay? I just can't stress that one enough. Helps to transform lives, gain inner wisdom, helps with manifesting your desires, and it works with the solar plexus and sacral chakras. All right? I strongly urge these two crystals. I'm trying to remember. This one may have come from a Thunder's Trove, or it may have come from my friend's shop. To be honest, I cannot remember at the moment. But let's see. I think today we're going to go with the Moonology for you guys. Okay. Last word of advice, comfort. Your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. There'll be many things in life that feel like they're testing our patience, testing our resolve. And that's just an encouragement to keep going. Okay, no matter what it feels like in the moment, keep going. All right. Believe in the impossible, blue moon. Okay. Believe in the impossible. Believe that it may seem impossible that you're going to make it through whatever it is you're going through right now that has caused you such distress. But believe, okay? Believe it will happen. Believe you will heal. Believe you will find this abundance, okay? And this love. Take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. Make sure you are taking care of yourself. That workaholic energy I see coming off of here is really strong, okay? Take time, right? Emotions are running high, super moon, and we just had a super moon when I'm doing this at the beginning of September. And, today we're in what's called the 999 portal. And the energies have been really high. So just, I'm getting the message of like sit down with a cup of tea and read your favorite book, or sit out in nature, go camping, something, whatever restores your emotional balance, okay? Do that, okay? And bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. And that's good advice no matter what's going into your life, okay? But in this particular case, they're asking you to bring love into the situation for yourself. Love yourself, okay? It is so very important. And in getting help, in getting through any situation, communication is key. New moon in Gemini. So make sure you're talking to your partner. Make sure you're talking to your family. If you need psychiatric care, please do get it, okay? There's nothing to be ashamed about. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. It is a crucial part of healthcare, okay? So do what you need to do, all right? And remember to balance that spirituality and that practicality, full moon in Pisces, all right? There may be a Pisces here. one of the best ways to balance spirituality and practicality is to meditate, okay, and contemplate. Not to go down the rabbit hole and get stuck down in there, okay? I recommend guided meditation for those that have that tendency while sitting still and being silent, okay? Great Meditations over on YouTube has some wonderful ones that are very gentle. They're not pushy or bossy or anything like that. They just gently guide your mind back onto the path. And then I was getting a strong message here that some of you just don't feel good enough, okay? Without your job to define you, or without your relationship to define you, or your wealth, or well, however it is you've defined it, that's not even a word, defined yourself, and this change disrupted that. You needed a reminder that you are good enough. You are absolutely good enough. Please don't ever doubt it, okay? Don't ever doubt it, all right? And then expect the change, okay? Expect powerful change. And it will happen. Manifest it. New moon eclipse. Okay, we just had an eclipse with this full moon. And we're in eclipse season at the time that I'm doing this, okay? So, if you're looking for timing now, don't wait. Do the work now so that you can reap the benefits, okay? What you fear is not going to happen. Nothing will come of this situation, void of course moon, okay? Nothing, the things that you're fearing that drag you down into that rabbit hole, nothing's going to come of that, okay? That's not going to happen, all right? For others of you that need to get medical assistance, I'm getting that message of don't let pride get in your way, okay? Full moon in Leo. And if you are a fire sign, pride can be something. It may get you through a lot of things, but it also can be a hindrance if you need to seek help, right? So do, okay? Please do seek the help that you need. Whatever, you need to do to get through the day, okay? Because you need a practical plan, right? Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus, it just, you can't just, be like, oh, I don't like this about myself, I'd like for it to change, and then not do anything about it, right? You actually do need to take action. You do actually need to have a plan, okay? And you will do it, okay? Have confidence in yourself. It is the key to your success in this, and there actually is a card in here somewhere that says that. Surrender to the divine. Full moon, okay? Surrender to the divine now. Take care of yourself. They've got your back. You're not alone. Believe, okay? Believe in the beauty that awaits you, and it will come, all right? I love you. Please remember that you are beautiful, okay? You are loved. And you are strong enough to overcome anything. Anything. Okay? I am getting a message that it might help when your mind goes off track into places you don't want it to go, to have a focal point. So I'm just going to pull this out. This is a carbide silicate. It's a man-made crystal. Mineral Mushroom has these, but I'm going to use it as an example because it's like a sparkly little crystal disco ball, right? Find something, a focal point, that makes you smile, okay? Whether it's a citrine tower with rainbows, which is over there. I guess I should have put it over here. If it's a work of art, if it's a child's smile, if it's a song, Imagine Dragons has one called I'm on Top of the World, right? Blare it while you're in the shower. Dance, cleanse yourself and dance it off, right? Find a focal point, not something to obsess about, okay? Not an obsession, a focal point to draw your mind back to where it should be. So, if something like a sparkly rock makes you smile every time you look at it, let that be your focal point. All right? If you have something that somebody you love gave to you, an heirloom, a Mother or Father's Day gift, that you can wear or hold in your hand, or that brings you comfort and solace, then use that. Okay? Just find something in your sphere that you can look at and that will help you reset your mind, because every time you look at it, it makes you smile. Every time you look at it, it brings you joy. Okay? Every time you look at it, it reminds you of the beauty and awe within the world. All right? Whatever that is for you. All right? Make that your focal point that helps you to steer your emotional ship. Okay? The ship of your thoughts, the ship of your emotions, help us to steer you and keep you on course. All right? All right? Hang in there. You've absolutely got this. All right? Love you.